Good afternoon all. Just a little update from the allotment. I'm just going to have a little sit down. Right. I'm seriously struggling for space. So what I've decided... Oh, that's not comfortable. Let me kneel instead. What I've decided instead is that this raised bed, which I'd allocated for my French beans, I've decided to put some of my Kohl Rabis in here. 24 plants. Probably too many, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Now, I'm either not going to use this for French beans, or we're going to see how these grow. The thinking behind it is that the French beans are probably going to be ready August, September time, and these Kohl Rabi, if I look after them well, give them watering and that, might be ready in a couple of months. May, June, July. They might be ready at the end of July, or even beginning of July, but certainly by the end of July. So I'm thinking, even if I do get my beans in, which won't go in for another, probably won't put them in until the end of the month, the growth on those is probably not going to dwarf these by the time these are ready to pick. That's the thinking behind it. Whether it works out that way or not is a different matter. I've also, these are all ones, little weedy ones here left over. I think they've got too hot in both the polytunnel and the frame. So I'm leaving these out here. They can stay out here. Maybe they'll grow and we'll get some plants. Maybe they'll die. I don't know. I have put another 4 in here, so that's something else good. If you look at the cabbages, they're looking superb, aren't they? Not looking bad. I am going to put some, I've got to put some pellets down, slug pellets, because I'm seeing snails. And with all the rain in that, they've been washed away, what were in here. I do need to do something about my broad beans, because they've been eaten. And I must remember to get some stuff tomorrow to spray on them. Cabbages, looking really superb. Looking really good, aren't they? Same with these. Oh, and even the leeks. Look at the leeks. They're looking better, aren't they? In fact, you can actually see the hearts of these greyhound cabbages starting to form, can't you? So yeah, so that's not bad. Right, let's pop out and let's do this tunnel up before I forget, because there's a lot of butterflies around today. Oh dear. I know I shouldn't have done the zip up from the inside. I just can't. I've got to get this enclosed. I can't shake a chance. If I don't shut it now, oh no, I'll forget, and the butterflies will be in. I'm just going to put the camera back down. You can watch the ants again. I noticed they were in it last time. Right. There we are, that's better. Right. I'm going to go in the tunnel, we're going to have a little sit down, and I'm not going to aim the camera at me because I can't be bothered to. But what I want to discuss while you're viewing my lovely inside of my polytunnel is polyanthers. Right, today I was at home and I was weeding, and as you probably seen in my earlier videos, I've got many troughs and tubs on the front of the garden. Anyway, while I was weeding and thinning out on the front, including the rockery, I stumbled across one of my troughs, and it got a load of self-setters in it. So I thought, right, well, can't have those going to waste, so I potted them on. I ended up with, hang on, let me just think, nearly 60 plants, just from one trough. So my tip for you today, if you get some polyanthus, primulas or primroses, grow them in a trough and leave the trough, let the plants seed and let them self-set, and then come back to it the following year, and I'm sure you'll have a load of new plants. We've never really took any notice before, you know, and I think it's because we've weeded before they've had a chance to take hold. So anyway, it's really chuffed about that, all those seedlings. Yeah, so all those plants we've got for nothing. Right. Can you remember the polyanthus what I put in on the 10th of April, I believe it was? Well, they're all starting to grow now. They were the ones what I started before I set this little challenge. I think there's 5 of you are joining in, and you're going to be sowing your own seeds, and we're going to follow each other during the coming 12 months and see the finished plants flowering next spring. So anyway, I've got my lot I'm going to sow today before I forget. I've got the pack of seeds there, so I'm going to sow another lot. But what I can tell you is that as I say, the lot what I planted on the 10th of April took 3 weeks to come through. They're very tiny, they're very slow growing. In fact, what I'm going to probably do now is when they give it another week or so to get a little bit more growth, then I'm going to move them into the frame where it's a bit cooler, because they like a colder weather, as can be seen by all the self-germinators in the garden. So the heat doesn't bother them, the cold doesn't bother them. As long as they've took root, they'll be fine. So they're going to go out into a cooler area. I may leave some in the tunnel just to see how things compare, but I'm sure I've read. In fact, let's go and have a look on the pack of seeds just to confirm what I've already learnt 2 years ago, I think it was, because here we are. These are the seeds what I'm growing. Mr. Fothergill's polyanthus, large flowered mix. So January to June, flowers March to May. Okay, and there we are. Sow indoors, thinly on the surface of a small tray of pre-watered compost. Place in a cold frame, unheated greenhouse or a cool windowsill. Keep moist and do not let the surface of the compost dry out. Temperature of 10 to 15 Celsius is ideal. Higher temperatures may inhibit germination. So there you are. You know what I'm going to do with these? I'm going to sow them, as I said, in the trays. And what you do is you just have to sprinkle them over the top. You do not cover them with soil. I'm going to put them in the frame. I'm not going to germinate them in the tunnel. I'm going to go straight into the frame, and then they'll probably at some point just go out in the open. Or I'll probably put them in the netted enclosure so they're safe from predators. Birds mainly. Although we have got the snails to worry about, haven't we? Yep, so that's going to be the job for this afternoon. So there you are. It needs a cool place for germination, 10 to 15 Celsius. So that puts that's no wonder they took a little while, because it was 45 in this polytunnel. when I came in about half an hour ago. I'm thinking, and it'd be too hot at home because in our house it's always about 25 Celsius as well. So cold frame is going to be the answer for a nice cool room, which we haven't got any at home. Okay, I'm not going to babble on anymore. There's not a lot else to discuss today. But I'd just like to thank you all again for following me. I had some lovely comments yesterday. Yeah, I'm really chuffed. Okay, bye.